Bridge of Stars. The autumn breeze rustled the golden leaves along the river bank as Luke stepped outside with Ember in his arms. The evening was cool but clear, the sky glowing in hues of amber and violet. Embers first shimmered under the setting sun as Luke gently set her down near the river. "Ready for another walk?" he asked, though he already knew the answer. Ember flicked her tail and began trotting down the familiar path, her eyes scanning the horizon. Luke had made this walk with her countless times since he brought her home from the shelter. Tonight felt different, though, like the air itself carried whispers of something special. As they reached the old stone bridge that arched over the water, Luke paused. Ember stopped beside him, gazing upward as the first stars began to blink into view. The night sky reflected perfectly in the still river below, making it seem as though they stood between two galaxies. Luke took a deep breath and leaned on the bridge's railing. "You know," he began, his voice soft, "I think about Ethan a lot when I come here." Ember didn't move, but her ears twitched as if she were listening intently. He must have loved this spot. Luke's gaze drifted over the water. The way the stars ripple in the reflection, it feels like magic. The river shimmered, and the stars above brightened as if they heard his words. Ember leapt gracefully onto the wide railing, her paws steady despite the height. She sat there, perfectly poised, her amber eyes fixed on the endless sky. Luke smiled. "You remind me every day that waiting isn't wasted. You waited for Ethan here. And in a way, he's still here with us, isn't he?" Ember let out a soft, almost musical meow in response. It wasn't sad, it was peaceful. Luke looked up again and noticed something curious. "Is that?" He squinted at a cluster of stars forming a strange, delicate shape. The outline resembled a small cat perched on a cloud of light. Luke blinked, wondering if his mind was playing tricks on him. But Ember saw it too. She stood and tilted her head, her eyes glowing with recognition. A memory stirred in Luke's mind. An old story he'd once read about stars forming constellations to honor those who waited bravely. "The Bridge of Stars," he murmured. "They say the ones we've lost leave signs in the sky." The constellation shimmered, faint but distinct, before blending seamlessly into the starry expanse. Ember turned and leapt down, brushing her side gently against Luke's leg before continuing along the path. Luke followed, his heart lighter than it had been in months. The world felt quieter, calmer, as though Ethan himself had left a message in the heavens for those who remained. As they neared the end of the trail, the town's lights came into view, twinkling in the distance like grounded stars. Luke knelt beside Ember and scratched behind her ears. "Thank you for reminding me to see the wonder in small things," he whispered. Ember purred softly, leaning into his touch. The sound wrapped around them like a lullaby. Back home, Luke set out a small bowl of treats for Ember before settling by the window with a cup of tea. Ember jumped onto the windowsill and curled up, watching the stars outside. Luke joined her, resting his head against the cool glass. The room was quiet except for the steady hum of life. Ember's eyes slowly closed, her breathing calm and rhythmic. Luke watched her with a fond smile. As the night deepened, he spoke again, his voice barely more than a whisper. "I think the stars were always waiting for you, too." Ember's ears twitched in her sleep, and Luke imagined she was dreaming of rivers made of light and bridges built from memories. He reached out and gently ran his hand along her soft fur, feeling the quiet pulse of her trust and love. Outside, the stars remained bright, small, steady flames in the vast expanse of the unknown. The constellation no longer visible to the naked eye still burned somewhere in the endless cosmos, reminding anyone who looked up that even in the darkest sky, there was always light. Luke closed his eyes, letting the warmth of the moment wash over him. Ember shifted slightly, her paw stretching toward him as if to say, "We're here together." And they were. In the quiet sanctuary they had built from loss and hope, they had found something unbreakable, something as infinite as the stars.